Well, I'm Pastor Rick Nelson, Central Lutheran Church, senior pastor here. And Healthy Start for us was an obvious way to begin my time amongst the people of Central Lutheran Church. I was new on this turf. There had been many, many years of some conflict and some turmoil and transition. And I wanted to get off to a good start. What Healthy Start did was provide a way for me to be a participant alongside of the other leaders in the congregation, and together frame our thinking and a way of operating together for the months and years that lie ahead.
I think it really got us focused. It got us focused on what are we intentionally trying to do to make the body of Christ come alive at Good Shepherd.
We began the week after I arrived with a Healthy Start, our first retreat. It just made everything easy. We got off on the right start. We understood each other. We, in a way that it would have taken months to get there. It would have been impossible. But and having a facilitator that was wise and knew what to ask, and it made it also a safe place. You can't do this by yourself. I felt cared for, supported, and safe, and clear.
What Healthy Start has enabled us to do, well, it focuses on four things: relationships, roles, rules, and responsibilities. And that sounds so simple. But what's beautiful about Healthy Start is that it suddenly helps to transform the leadership into community, so that serving on council no longer is duty, but it's really something that I look forward to. Council meetings no longer are these 4-hour marathon sessions, but rather 2 hours of real spiritual formation, of real Christian community. And we do the leadership work of the church as well. So we've found in my congregation I'm currently serving to be just an incredible blessing.
The best thing about Healthy Start for me was just that, it was teaching us ways that we could talk with each other and relate to each other in an environment that was healthy and safe. And so that we could have honest conversations in the meeting and not out in the parking lot.
What I really got out of the Healthy Starts, and I think what our congregation did, was we were really working on relationships and roles for the next year. So our pastor could get a jump start on really leading us where we wanted to go.
So Healthy Start really helps to focus in on my purpose, my direction for each and every member. And again, my role as the interim pastor is to help that awareness take place, but the Healthy Start process then follows through with that.
In my role as an assistant to the bishop, I have the opportunity to encourage and many times urge congregations and the incoming pastor to consider and to participate in the Healthy Start for Congregations program. I think a good beginning is very important in terms of developing the relationship between pastor and people, and also in terms of as they develop ministry together.
What Healthy Start did for us mostly was that it set a certain tone of communication and how we deal with one another, how we conduct ourselves when we deal with one another, at least in the leadership, which fairly soon proved to be very important when some issue came up, and I think the leadership of the church then dealt in a very good and constructive way with that issue, instead of just blowing up about it or getting defensive. So that's how Healthy Start helped us with that.
And I've been a member of that church since 1966, so I thought I pretty much knew how the church worked. So now being on council and president, Healthy Start has really helped us, and helped me specifically, get a better handle on how we do what we do.
I thought it was a great program, sounded like, and what better way to start with a new pastor than through something like that with open communication and everything you need to move forward.
It's designed to get pastors and congregations at the very beginning of their ministry together to understand some things about each other in a way that I never got when I started my ministry, 16 years ago.
Yes, when we started at the retreat, I think that was probably the best beginning we could have had as a council, along with our new senior pastor and other associate pastor that was on board at the time. It was just a very, very healthy beginning for this place. We didn't know one another very well, many of us. There were new people on the council. The pastor was new. We would have spent a great deal of time learning how to work together. We may never have arrived at the point that we are today. Thanks to Healthy Start and the time we spent in that initial retreat and the checkups on a quarterly basis, we have arrived at a much healthier point, I think, in a much more efficient manner.
Communication, that's the one thing that was the most fruitful thing from Healthy Start that we got.
Great.
Being able to talk to one another. And we take it so for granted, just the ability of communicating with one another.
I think one of the things that Healthy Start has helped us a lot is where's the leadership of the church? Who leads the church? And when you make assumptions, well, that's the pastor's role. Well, is that really the pastor's role, or is that the church council role? Is that really the church council role, or is that the mission team role? And all of those pieces come together, and if you think about it, oh yeah, we've always done it this way, and so you look at how many missed opportunities you might have had because of that. So as you make those roles more clear, and you get all the expectations out, then you play to people's strengths, and they can see where they can participate even deeper, perhaps, thinking about things you never would have thought of before.